Hey everybody, welcome to another week of Ed Psych. I'm getting this announcement in a little early so that we're sure to finish up what we need to tonight and then move into what we need to do this coming week. So I'm working from home and I'm in my sweats and a ponytail, so instead of my beautiful face, you get to see the screen today. But what I do want to walk you over to is, first of all, the modules area. Let's get a reminder of what you should be working on this week. So hopefully you've all completed the course orientation and lesson 0 quiz as we go through the modules here. Lesson 1 should be all done, and then our target this week was to complete lesson 12. So one of the items in there is the assessment inventory groups discussion board. We're going to click over there for a second, depending on how slow my computer is going to be. This board is a place for you to talk with other people in the class to find out who else is in your content area so that you can have partners to work with on the assessment inventory key assignment. We're going to start working on that this coming week, so I really want you to get those groups set up. I've already set up a few groups in Canvas and I'm just waiting to hear from the rest of you. So if you haven't been on this board yet, please do get on there. And then best practice, if I haven't responded to you on the discussion board at this point, is to please send me an email listing the content area and the names of the members of your group so that I can get these groups set up for you. That'll give you a place to collaborate on documents and to have discussions and whatever. And it'll also make it so when you turn in the assessment inventory items, I just grade it once for the whole group, and it's really, really easy. I didn't get in before somebody, Caitlin, submitted some key assignments on the first two. So after this lesson, when you submit assessment inventory items, you just do one for the group, and it grades really easily, and it'll tell you it's done. For this lesson that's coming up for lesson 2, what'll happen is one of your group members will submit the assessment inventory items. Maybe a different group member will submit each one because there are 2 this time. And then I'll grade them and put in the grades for everybody, but it won't automatically tell you that it's been submitted, if that makes sense. So you'll have to click the little X that says that this is due just to make it go away so it's not bugging you. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. I'd be happy to tell you what's going on, okay? All right, if we get back into the modules, so again, you're going to tell me who you want to work with for your assessment inventory. You can work on your own if you feel comfortable, if you've done assessments in the past, for example, or you've taken curriculum and you feel pretty confident in your curriculum design abilities, then that's fine. If you've never written an assessment before, if you're in curriculum right now or you've never taken curriculum before, you're not going to want to be alone on this assignment, okay? All right, so as we come back into the modules, note that there is a Lesson 12 Mastery quiz, so be sure to go through all of the pages of the module, get comfortable with the content, then take the Lesson 12 Mastery quiz, which is due tonight, and that's it. Okay, so it should just be forming your assessment inventory groups and then the Mastery quiz there at the end of Lesson 12, okay? So those need to be due tonight. Coming up, starting tomorrow, you're going to be working on Lesson 2. Lesson 2 teaches you about vital skills that every student in your class needs to learn. And those are metacognition. In other words, how do you get kids to start thinking about their own thinking, to self-evaluate and to plan their learning and to monitor their progress and all this kind of stuff. This is what successful learners do. Okay, and another word for it is called self-regulation. So I really largely see our content that we teach kids as a vehicle for teaching them things like metacognition and self-regulation, as well as things like critical thinking and problem solving. But please be aware, these skills you're going to learn in Lesson 2, they're vital. And I want you really thinking about, and that's why there's a discussion board this week, how you can help kids in your discipline develop these skills and then transfer them to other disciplines. Okay, so you're going to learn about these ideas of metacognition, self-regulation. You're going to talk about it with your peers in a discussion board, which means you need to post by Thursday, right? Your initial post. Then you're going to work with your group on some tools that can actually help your students develop metacognition. A self-assessment, for example, if you use self-assessment effectively in your curriculum, it helps your kids develop metacognition. This is that real-world practice I was talking about that I want us engaging in this class, okay? So you guys are going to work together to develop a self-assessment for a unit in your content area. Then you're also going to work together to develop a portfolio assignment for a unit in your content area. It's easiest if you do the same unit, okay? So just stick to the same unit. It's nice and easy. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but it's easiest. So a portfolio is fantastic because it requires some self-regulation. They've got to keep these assignments either in a folder in your class, or it's a little biased, but you can send it home. But then at the end, what you have to do, and so many instructors do this poorly, is have students look back through their portfolio. What did they collect in here? Are they just old assignments, or are you having them create some new things? Is it elements in the writing process, so they have kind of a brainstorm and then a rough draft and a peer evaluation and all this kind of stuff? What are the elements you had them put into this portfolio? Have them look back at those and then do a really good targeted reflection on what they've been learning and what they're good at and what they're still struggling with and how they're going to get better and all this kind of thing. So it's like a super beefed up version of self-assessment. Self-assessment can be little. We can do that in the middle of class and just say, all right, everybody stop and think for a minute. How are you doing? You know? But portfolio, this is a really targeted self-assessment in which we have the students look back, think about their thinking, think about their learning, and reflect on that. So those are the two required elements of portfolio. They've got to have stuff from the unit, and then they've got to have a really good targeted reflection that goes along with it. So both of these assessments are just great tools for developing metacognition and self-regulation, and you'll be developing those with your group, okay? All right, there is as well, as kind of a beefy lesson, so be ready for it, a mastery quiz at the end of lesson 2, just to make sure you've got these key concepts and skills down. And then I hope you go forward and you make posters about the metacognitive skills and the cycle of self-regulated learning, and you put them in your classroom and you help your students use them every single day. And I'm starting to get like borderline psychotic about this, so I'm going to calm down and just say this stuff is vital, okay? All right, so that's what we have going on. One last reminder, scrolling up. Please tell me who your assessment inventory groups are going to be and take the Lesson 12 Mastery Quiz by tonight. Then get started on Lesson 2. Go through these materials, the first 4 pages, by Thursday so that you can post on the discussion board on Thursday, okay? Then you got to go back and reply to 2 peers on that sometime before next Monday and work with your group on developing your self-assessment and portfolio. Take that Lesson 2 Mastery Quiz before the week ends, and you'll be good to go with Lesson 2. All right, that's where we are this week on Ed Psych. Looking ahead, we've got the last lesson in Unit 1, and we'll be taking an online quiz to kind of double check, make sure that we got everything from Lesson 1 before we move on to, Unit 1, before we move on to Unit 2, which I will be posting shortly. Good luck, everybody. Please keep in touch. Come to my office, find me, email me, etc. I am here for you, man. All right, talk to you later. Bye.